finding the beauty in imperfection. You might think this is the concept of Wabi-Sabi. However, the real concept of Wabi-Sabi is not about finding beauty in perfection. So this is what I'm going to talk and share with you today. So Wabi-Sabi is widely known these days, especially in our way of life, as aesthetics, and also especially in interiors. Many of you have been probably pursuing to find kind of Wabi-Sabi design or Wabi-Sabi way of life, of like bringing something imperfect in your life, or trying to be minimalist and reduce things from your life and trying to kind of create Wabi-Sabi, which is great. However, today I want to share with you the real meaning of Wabi-Sabi. So first of all, it is important to create the eyes and the mind to understand Wabi-Sabi. So, first of all, in the world of Wabi-Sabi, there is no good or no bad, no perfect or no imperfect. Well, in my other video, I talked about duality in life. And yes, we have shadow and light, we have sun and the moon, we have night, morning, we have good, bad, we have beauty, ugly. So we have dual aspect. However, in ancient Japanese teaching, to be in the middle of the point zero and to see things without judgmental eyes, this eye is the eyes that we can see Wabi-Sabi. So what does it mean? So in our life, we have light, shadow, dual aspect, morning, night. But this is the truth, and we don't, of course, we prefer to be the light, in the light, and we prefer probably to be in the sun. However, we cannot diminish shadow from our side. We cannot diminish night from our side. So we see both as equal and stay in the middle, in the point of zero. So if we see something, like let's say, the example is if our clothes is torn, we feel kind of embarrassed to wear it. However, if you find clothes which is torn and it is like designed by famous designer, you might think, yes, I'm going to buy it, and you'll be very proud to wear. However, the exactly same design, but if it is broken by yourself, and because it gets older or something, you might feel uncomfortable and you might feel ashamed to wear. But if it is purposely done, even exactly the same thing, you feel proud. So it means that we are actually seeing things from the lenses, extra lenses, to judge what is good and what is not good. The Wabi-Sabi itself is seeing things from when we are really quiet moment and in the stillness, and it can be our mind is more like in the shadow side and seeing our life, like especially now this is autumn, and when I go to the park, I was just there this morning, and I see beautiful colors, but also a kind of feeling of nostalgic because all the leaves are falling. It's really like feel like the end of life. So has a kind of, it's not sadness, but real sense of solitude in a way. Also, when I see the colors, some of the color are already getting dark and kind of more like towards the night. And it's before the autumn and also this is before the winter. So it's very different feeling from the spring and also autumn. So when we come across this situation, you might think, this is not cherry blossom and this is not beautiful. But we can feel this autumn, the beauty in this transition, it's more like in the shadow side. So the leaves are falling apart and also on the ground, and it is beautiful color but feel a little bit of sadness. And this is not about imperfection, it is finding beauty in things as they are. So we can appreciate the tree in spring, we can see the trees in the autumn. And Wabi-Sabi is also this feeling of stillness. So the Wabi-Sabi is really connecting to things as they are, feeling the beauty, and it depends on the person what we find it beautiful. But really appreciating and cherishing things as they are, then there we can find the beauty. For example, so this is the Japanese tea ball. I broke it by mistake and I stitched with Kintsugi. Okay, so Kintsugi is, we use the lacquer to put them together and then we dust with gold powder. So it was broken and I put them together. So, well, this is not as it was, as new, but it has history. The history that I broke as well. And also the way I fixed it, it's not even. This is a natural. So this is only one in the world. So this has this unique history, and the beauty is not about imperfection. Beauty is this, the history that this ball has been living and what it went through, and appreciating and celebrating the beauty emerge. As you can see, the uniqueness, and also it's more emotional. I feel like melancholic and I feel a bit sad, but also the shine, the light that brings from the shadow. So that is also Wabi-Sabi. And also, for example, if you see like some Japanese design and also the Japanese flower arrangement, very minimum, but also close to nature. Maybe we have a very minimum, like can be just 3 points in flower arrangement. And we might use very simple branch of tree and make it as minimum as possible. But there we also feel this feeling of the space, like spaciousness, when we connect to this design or what it is. So this kind of spaciousness is where we feel compassion and we feel kind of nostalgicness, but also something that we resonate to our own heart, because we have been through a lot in our life, beautiful things, sad things. So when we see the object, when we see the environment, and when we have something really like as it is, it's close to us, rather than when we see the perfect porcelain, for example, it is beautiful, but it's not like our life. So if we see something like broken object and fixed it, and it's resonate, it's a truth about us. So the Wabi-Sabi is really, actually, it becomes much deeper, and it's really like a reflection of our life. And I think every single person has different shades of emotions, different shades of feelings, and different histories. So when we see things like that in nature or in object, interior design, so then we feel more resonate to us. So for example, if you see Japanese pottery, for example, like raku, you see it's really like rock in a way, because it's uneven, and when you touch it, you feel the warmth. And on the contrary, if you see Limoges, I love French antique, So if you see like, for example, really like from Limoges porcelain, it's really fine and very thin and it's really perfect. So look totally different and both are beautiful in its own way. However, as I mentioned, like rock, for example, it is more close to nature. And then we feel it's like we resonate. This is not, it is beyond culture, beyond our belief. It is something about our human nature. When we see something close to us in the object, it's unconsciously we resonate and bring some kind of comfort. And that is about Wabi-Sabi. And the wonderful thing is that's also healing. For example, beautiful porcelain, very thin and perfect shape. This is also beautiful and I love that. So for example, you might think, and how about the Japanese kimono, like furisode, long sleeve, beautiful kimono? That's very different from kind of Wabi-Sabi concept. And yes, we also have different aesthetics called miyabi, which is more like a grandeur. The aesthetics comes from light side. So shining beauty we have. However, when I wear kimono and I enter the Japanese room, like for tea ceremony, the space itself is minimum and I feel immediately the feeling of Wabi-Sabi there because of the wood, because of the tatami and how they are built and the kind of sense of nature and the smell and everything. So then there is a balance between kimono and the shining beauty, miyabi, the other aesthetic of kimono, and the wabi-sabi. So then we combine this both sides. And when I'm wearing kimono, and if I go to very luxurious kind of Western style setting for parties, in a way, I feel get tired because of it's not because of the occasion, but then everything is too shiny. So it becomes like light and light. So when I'm wearing really luxurious kimono, I need the other sober side. Then I kind of can balance itself. Then I can stay in the point of zero. So finding wabi-sabi or like feeling wabi-sabi from the environment and the art design, it really brings comfort and stillness in our life. So some people might seek, how can I create wabi-sabi? So if you want to create a kind of sense of wabi-sabi in your life, what you can do is to bring something natural something natural, and it can be beautiful rock or it can be the branch of tree from outside. So not the polished one, but just a branch of tree and then decorate as you like. Or for the interior, maybe use the color close to nature and more subtle. So that's like shades of gray or shades of brown. So it has a sense of tranquility. So there are many things that we can do and we can actually explore. So the sense of wabi-sabi really depends on the person. So there is no rules. That's why it's so difficult. We know how we feel, but there is no rules and no academic definitions. So it really depends on our emotion, depends on our feeling. So wabi-sabi, in order to feel the sense of wabi-sabi, we have to go deeper into ourselves so that we can feel, for example, in the very empty Japanese traditional tea room, we can have this sense of wabi-sabi. And it's a tranquility reflecting our emotional state. and the shade of emotion, shade of our feeling. So then you will find something that reflects yourself. Thank you for watching. Finally, our online community, the Japanese Wisdom Academy, is open. So this is about how to master the art of living with Japanese wisdom. So please visit our new page, and the link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.